Hello guys and welcome back to Assetto Corsa. Today we'll be driving the Lotus T125 S1 in a Ferrari livery with a never crash V10 Ferrari engine mod at Circuit de Catalunya. So, as you can see, we'll be taking this car out now. So I'll be talking about the stats of this track first. So the track's actually located in a place called Montmeló, Barcelona-Catalunya, Spain. It was actually originally hosted for the 1992 Summer Olympics, so it's quite a famous track with a bit of history on it as well. The type of cars that I normally take is probably Formula 1 cars and MotoGP cars, MotoGP bikes to be honest. The length of the track is 2.8 miles, if you round up, probably 2.9 miles, but yeah. It's got around 16 turns, and the lap record is held by Kimi Räikkönen with a time of 1 minute 21 seconds and 675 milliseconds. Yeah. He actually held that record in 2008 with his Ferrari car. He's quite a fast driver back then. The track
still is a fast driver.
Yeah, I'm not going to say he's a slow driver, but he's extremely fast back then, so he's always been good at it. The track was actually built in 1991 on the outskirts of Barcelona, unlike the other track called Montjuïc, which is based within the city of Barcelona. Just like the majority of the tracks, it's a clockwise track, it's not an anti-clockwise track, so that's a great thing. Right, onto the game stats now of the track. So, a lot of games actually have this track included. One of the examples is R Factor, Grid, MotoGP and a few Formula 1 games. And it's a good thing to know that Assetto Corsa do also have this track. The original, well not the original owner, but the person who converted this track from R Factor is called Albert McSaltons. He's converted it, I think he said from Flow for R Factor. I'm guessing Flow's an author or someone like that. Right, so the handling of the track. Well, I've been told it's quite a bumpy track. I have not personally tested this track out for myself, but as you can see, it actually does look very bumpy. And at points, you can actually see that the road is quite slippery. Hopefully, it doesn't slip on the road, so you won't see that. Apart from those a few things like that, the track itself is actually great. I mean, I love the view as you're driving down the track. You can see the mountains there, the stands and everything like that. The looks of the track, I say it's also brilliant. It looks like a fun track to drive on. I wish I could test it afterwards as well. Yeah, I mean it doesn't look very complex, so that's also good. I think it's a little bit of a challenge, not too much. I mean this, if I was driving it, I'd get confused by this because apparently if you go straight down, it's a runoff area. But in fact this is the actual track.
I think I'm just used to it because I've been racing on this track since about, I don't know, 2001,
Okay, there's an example of the road being slippery,
I'll go this way.
I think.
There we go.
Was it slippery then, or did you just lose control?
Just a little bit too much power out of that, because I was talking and not concentrating on that.
Would you happen to know where the slippery area is, so we can probably show the people?
I think it's slightly slippery around, I'll show you. In fact, we're coming up to it. It's turn 1 around here, turn 1 and 2. About here.
Okay.
Coming into this turn, there's a couple of bumps right there. You probably saw the car just slightly move, just there and there. And I think that's the bumpy area, which causes the car to just sort of
lose control a bit.
Yeah, it just wants to slide outwards. Apart from that, I always seem to lock up here, but apart from that, there really isn't that much problems with it. I know that this track is a little bumpy. Breaking down here into, I think this is turn 5. Breaking into turn 5 is a slight issue. You want to make sure you don't put it into second there in this car. Into first. Try to avoid the lockups. Bring it up here. It's a bit bumpy up this hill as well. Just ease off the gas a bit. Come back on and power out. You can ride it right up to those curves, but I don't really want to. You do that in Formula 1 games, but at the moment, I might try it in a lap or so, but at the moment I'm not too confident with riding it right out to the curbs. Because the curbs seem a little bit high. And there's a slight amount of bump you'll see in a moment. coming down here, there,
Oh
just
yeah,
there,
I saw that.
which then destabilizes the car as you're turning in, which is
Mhm.
what happened I think last time. But apart from that, there really isn't. Now I know that this track is technically bumpy because it is an old track, and that's where the challenge really comes in this game, is the fact that the track is actually bumpy, but there
It's
isn't
look bumpy there as
too
well.
much. That's the start finish straight. It's alright if it's bumpy around that. So
As long as there's no turns or anything, I guess you can hold
Yeah.
it well.
see, there's the issues.
Whoa.
See, that's the issues when you're coming in.
Mm.
Which again, even though I'm used to this track, it's not.
It's not one of the easiest tracks, I'd say.
Well, not in this configuration because I'm used to the track feeling a lot smoother.
Yeah.
I've raced this track and it just feels a lot smoother. I think if you're in cars like sports cars
Then
or
it's fine.
supercars, it'll be fine. But
Yeah.
in a
Formula-
car that's
very
low
low,
down
yeah.
as this, you're gonna feel a bit of problems with that. So maybe that's something for the mod author to look at. Maybe just smoothing out a couple of the bumps. I'm not saying make the track completely smooth because this track is far from smooth. But
a bit, you
you might want to smooth out just a couple of bumps.
Okay.
I think it's known that from R factor conversions, it is a bit the tracks that are modded from R factor
Yeah.
normally end up slightly bumpier than you'd expect. Remember we had that one from Donington.
Oh yeah.
I think that was a R factor conversion as well, the original Donington that we tried out. And we noticed how bumpy that was in the end, while then the purpose-built version of Donington
It was much smoother.
was it wasn't as bumpy.
Yeah.
So I think that's sort of the pattern seems to be following along here.
Yeah. I mean,
Where it's slightly bumpy. but
maybe
it's not bad.
maybe we'll see, I don't know, a purpose-built track of this as well.
Oh, that would be absolutely great.
But I mean, at the moment, it's still a great track to drive on. I can just see how
Oh, yeah.
awesome it is to drive on.
Oh yeah. There's no way I can find myself stopping this
Yeah.
after half a dozen laps just because it was too bumpy. In fact, I would probably try and I'd try and ease out the bumps.
Yeah. Would you say this is a technical track and a challenge to you, or no?
Well, since I've raced this track for so many years, I know this track with my eyes closed.
Okay.
But the challenges on this track is that every time you come on this track, it's fast.
Okay.
I mean, if you just watch my speed through this, right? I'm
Yeah.
doing 60 through that corner. Before I come up to the next corner, I'm already up to 150 again.
Yeah.
Coming into the sea, there's
So I'm guessing it's hard to
out.
judge the turns. That's to say for a new driver who's never been on this track before.
If you've never been on this track, it's a little bit of getting used to.
Okay.
In fact, should we find out if there's a track map available?
It'd be great if there was.
Let's find out. There we go. No track map. Oh wait, no. It looks like there is a track map.
Where is it?
Yeah. Can you see it?
On your mirror.
Yeah, near the mirror. Can you see what?
There's no. Actually,
There is a track map, but
Oh,
it
yeah.
doesn't seem to be.
but it's moving. It's actually moving.
I
Like,
don't think the track map's following the actual map.
yeah, it looks like every time you turn, the map is turning too.
Yeah, well, it should be. Right, let me see if I can find that map. I'm all over the place right now.
I saw exactly where it was. It actually had numbers on it as well.
Yeah,
on the corners.
Corner names, which means that this should have been corner 16. Here.
Yeah.
This is number 16, right. There we go, come back down.
There it is. Look, there it is.
Okay, it's in the completely wrong direction.
And it's keep moving.
Yeah, it's in the completely wrong place.
Okay, that's quite funny.
I should not be looking at a track map. Ow.
Yeah, you just concentrate on driving.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to driving. Doesn't matter, I can leave that track map on, it's not affecting me.
Yeah.
I'm not looking in the mirrors.
Well,
But okay, so it doesn't have a track map yet. Not
Yeah.
a working track map.
I mean, another great thing about this track is that it also has a steady 100 to 120 frames per second for us, which is smooth. You know, it's quite an optimized track, considering
Yeah,
it's being
it's nice.
converted from flow from R-Fact. So
And considering how nice it looks,
yeah, exactly.
it's
quite
very
detailed.
well optimized. With the Pirelli signs up there.
Yeah. It's good to know we're racing on the home track of is it Alonso?
Yeah, Fernando Alonso's on
That's
track.
it.
well, and Spanish drivers like Pedro de la Rosa as well.
Yeah.
So
I can see why I'd enjoy this track now.
it's a great track to drive on.
I can't wait to test it out for myself.
Oh yeah, you're definitely going to enjoy it. Oh, this is a first gear corner if I remember correctly.
Okay, so that's one of the times that only that's what in first gear you have to take down.
Yeah, what we'll do is, if we talk just about the looks of how the track actually looks in terms of track detail,
Yeah.
and then after that, I'll do a commentary lap, so showing you how to actually drive it and where we actually go.
I
And
see
then
I see that corner's taking you a lot. It's caught you up a lot, hasn't it?
that chicane, yeah, it never actually used to be there. That's why
Ah.
the chicanes, if I remember correctly, that chicane was added in 2004 maybe, something like that. So I've raced both versions of this track, with and without the chicane,
Okay.
and
Which one's better?
I like it with the chicane.
You can go faster, I'm guessing.
No, slows you
Slower.
down. Slows you down, but when you're playing things
But-
like Formula 1, it's a great overtaking opportunity.
It's strange because we're just looking at some statistics online and we saw that without the chicane it was slower, strangely enough.
Yeah,
Although it should be faster, shouldn't it? Because there's no...
it depends on the cars.
Yeah, that's
It depends
true.
on the cars. So, you know, with the chicane, it could be faster if
Yeah,
you have a
faster
much
cars.
faster car.
Yeah.
So the rest of the track's a lot faster. I mean, here in a Formula 1 car, I'm not doing it flat here, but in a Formula 1 car, you could take that absolutely flat.
Yeah.
In a 2004 spec Formula 1 car. Now you couldn't. Overcook that corner slightly.
See, that corner would definitely confuse me. I'd probably end up going straight.
So my first half dozen laps when I was racing on this all those years ago, my first half dozen laps, that runoff was even worse. It didn't actually have a road light, it just opened up, so you thought that the track became extremely wide,
Yeah.
and it didn't.
Whoops.
There we go. Right, let me do a commentary lap. Let's go.
Right.
So we're on the start finish straight here. As you can see, I'm 0.004 seconds up, 0.008 seconds up. Coming down to turn 1, Santander mark, you can brake in this car anyway. Don't have to brake too hard. Slight oversteer on entry, but make sure you just correct it, straighten out the car. Power through turns 1 and 2, come up to turn 3. Turn 3 is very, very long, it just seems to never end. And you just keep going. As you get under this board, brake again. Turn it in, oops, slightly over, overcooked it. You need to brake a little bit more there. Turn it in, make sure you get a wide entry onto it. Down the drop, in turn 5. Now this one can catch you out because it's slightly off camber, so don't ever put it into first. Power up all the way up to turn 6, take on the outside, turn it in, get the apex nicely, you can ride up the curve on this side. Up through turn 7, ease off the gas in this car, then back on nicely, and power, you can use a lot of the runoff there, you can hear the steering wheel vibrating. Brake way before the DHL marker, I think around the 100 meter mark, you want to brake here because you really need to slow the car down. Power out. Now this is where the track gets a little bit trickier. So the corners have become tighter, it's not as fast paced. You want to brake here nice and early, make sure you don't catch the sausage curve on the inside. Same thing here, into chicane, first gear again, smooth out, put your power down, and there's a lap. Nice and fast, I'd say 1:37.7.
Yeah.
Nice view as well. Right,
Right, should we just give
leave
a hot
couple
lap
of-
or something? Yeah.
Let's leave a couple of laps on.
It's quite a fast track anyway, so.
Yep.
Okay. Right, so guys, we'll see you in the next episode. So please comment, rate, subscribe, and yeah, if you want us to make any other videos, do leave a comment below, and we'll see you next time.